Good morning, children. I'm Radhika, your biology teacher at Dr. Beeson School. So, have you been watching the videos? Every video I ask the same question, and I hope that you have been actually watching the videos, okay, and enjoying the videos. So, we shall be seeing about the last part of the chapter. Okay, till now we have studied about different aspects of nutrition in the plants. So, quick recap of what we have studied in the previous classes, that is, what all types of nutrition we have studied? Autotrophic, in which we have seen about photosynthesis, isn't it? In the first one, we have seen about photosynthesis. Then, in the second one, we have seen about heterotrophic. Heterotrophic, where they are not able to make their own food. That is heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, in that again, we have been studying about different types of nutrition. In that, we have studied about, okay, we have studied about parasitic, where they grow on other plants. Okay, next we have seen that some of them grow fully on other plants, others grow only some nutrients they take from others. Then that is parasitic, partial and fully parasitic. Then we have seen about insectivorous, those which eat the insects. Then the third one we have seen saprophytic. Saprophytic means that which eat the dead and decaying organisms. Whatever dead and decaying matter is there, that they feed on or eat that. They are called as saprophytic. That is called as saprophytic nutrition. Then the last one that we are going to study is the symbiotic nutrition. Symbiotic nutrition. What is this symbiotic nutrition? Symbiosis means friendship, where they maintain friendship with each other. So, how do you all stay with each other? When you are there in the classroom, do you share your things with your friends or not? You'd be taking certain things from your benchmates and giving them certain things, isn't it? When needed, you can borrow, and if at all they need, you also give them, share your things. So, this is sharing. So, is it beneficial or not? Is there any harm in sharing? There is no harm, isn't it? Both of you are sharing the things, there is no harm. It is beneficial or useful to both of you, you and your friend. Same thing you carry out at home also with your siblings, that is your brothers and sisters, you will be sharing many things. So when you are sharing the things, that is also going to be useful, isn't it? So whenever there is a benefit for both the persons or both the organisms, both persons or both the organisms, that means what? It could be the plants also. It is beneficial for the plants, both the plants are benefited, or the plant with any other organism, if there is a benefit, then it is called as symbiosis. And we observe that some plants show this type of nutrition also. Okay, earlier when I was discussing about insectivorous plants, I told that these plants grow in the soil where nitrogen is less, isn't it? That's why they have these special structures like the pitchers or the Venus flytrap, wherein they can trap the flies. Why they are doing? To take the nitrogen from the insects, especially the nitrogen. They may take other nutrients, but most important of them is the nitrogen. So that is one way of taking the nitrogen. Now, there are other plants which don't have they also grow in certain soils. Okay. So they are able to take the nitrogen in a different way. What is the different way? That different way is this symbiotic nutrition, and that occurs in all the symbiotic plants. So today we shall study about the symbiotic nutrition. So that is the quick recap. I just leave it that. So this is symbiotic nutrition. What is this symbiotic nutrition? How the plants are able to take up such nutrition? As I told, they maintain friendship. How do they maintain the friendship? Okay. So there are certain plants, like a very good example of that is the groundnut plant. If at all it is possible, I shall certainly try and bring it and show the roots of the groundnut plant. Okay, the groundnut plant or the green peas. You all like to eat the peas, isn't it? Peas or the grams. You would be eating different types of pappu or dal at home every day or not? Okay, like masoor dal, Bengal gram or arhar dal, kaldipappu, pesar pappu, moong dal. Okay, or urad dal or minapappu. All these are the common names. You are eating all those dals. What is the speciality of these dals or the groundnuts? They have this mechanism. They are the plants which show this symbiotic nutrition. And I say that all those plants are symbiotic plants. Why they are symbiotic? They have special roots. Okay, not like the normal roots, they have special roots. Inside the roots, they allow some bacteria to live. That means what? They are providing the space. They are provided the space and food. Many of you would be taking the house for rent and staying, isn't it? Many of us stay like that or not? We stay in rented houses. In return, what we are doing, we are paying the money to the person, to the house owner. Okay, and they have provided the house to us. Whereas here, the plants, what they have done, they are providing the space. In the roots, they are allowing the bacteria to stay. Along with that, they are providing the food. The plants are able to undergo photosynthesis or not. So, from photosynthesis, whatever food is synthesized, that food, even the bacteria is able to eat. Okay, so that means what? They are keeping the bacteria as a paying guest. Can we say paying guest? What is a paying guest? Some of your elder brothers and sisters, okay, they could be staying somewhere else for studies or for preparing some exam, or they would be working somewhere, you would be knowing. Okay, so they take a room for rent. In that room they stay, and the house owner only provides the food also. Okay, so what they are getting there? They are getting the room and also the food. For both they are paying. So that we call as a paying guest. So just like that, I say that here these plants are acting as the owners, okay, and keep the bacteria as the paying guest. Okay, so here I would like to give the examples. Examples are groundnuts, pea, different types of grams. Okay, gram plants, that is all the dals. I would write in bracket dal. Okay, the grams are also called as pulses. Another name for them is pulses. Okay, so these all have got special roots. Inside those roots, the bacteria can stay. That means what? These plants are acting as the host. Where else did I discuss about the host? I discussed about the host in the parasitic nutrition, where I told that the host and the parasite. But here there is no parasite. The bacteria does not harm the plant. So what they get in turn? What do they get in turn? I told that they are acting as the host. They are providing the shelter and the food. And I told that the bacteria can be like a paying guest. So what it has to pay? It doesn't have any money to pay to the plants. What it pays? It pays the plants in the form of nitrogen. Okay, in the air there is sufficient amount of nitrogen. Okay, around 78% of nitrogen is there, but the plants cannot take that nitrogen. So that nitrogen is fixed or used, is converted into a form which the plants can take, and that thing is done by a bacteria. These plus, I show a symbol of plus. Why I am showing the plus symbol here? That shows friendship. That means there is no harm to the plants. Let's say I have shown this groundnuts plus bacteria. Which bacteria? Very good example or common example you all can remember is rhizobium. Rhizobium. Okay, so this bacteria provides, so what they give? They provide food and shelter. These plants provide food and shelter. The groundnuts and all these provide food and shelter. Okay, whereas what does this one show? This one give to them? This gives nitrogen. It provides nitrogen. Okay, so here we have got two groups. One is that of this. Okay, so I consider this and this one. So between these two there is exchange. Okay, the bacteria is giving nitrogen to the plants, whereas the plants are giving food and shelter to the bacteria. Here I have shown the friendship between these two. Okay, so I just draw a diagram also. Okay, if you consider that this is a plant, okay, a pea plant or any such plant containing the specialized roots. Okay, you can see the plants like this. So here I have drawn. So under the soil you could see that it is having a taproot system. Okay, so if you consider the roots like this, the roots would have grown. Okay, on those roots you could find small ball-like structures or small nodules. We call them as nodules. In higher class again I shall be teaching about like structures that are there on the roots of these plants. Okay, that contain the bacteria. If at all a groundnut plant is available, I shall certainly show to you all. Okay, so this is, can you see? Okay, so these are the, we call them as root nodules. We call them as root nodules. And inside that what is there? Inside that we can find the bacteria. Inside this we can find the bacteria. This whole thing we can find the bacteria. A few only I would show. You can think that in rest of them it is available. So this is bacteria. Okay, which bacteria is it? I have given the example there. Rhizobium. This is rhizobium. Okay, the bacteria rhizobium. Okay, so we see that the plant. So you can consider this as the pea plant. Can I write it here as pea plant or a groundnut plant? Okay, in the roots we can see the bacteria showing a symbiotic relationship or the symbiosis. Okay, this is one example. There is one more example which is really great, and that example is lichen or lichen. Some of them pronounce it as lichen, others pronounce it as lichen. Okay, so the second one, this is the first example. Second example is that of lichen. Okay, so where do you find? Here we see between algae. Okay, algae, what is this algae? Have you ever heard about algae? You have never heard, isn't it? See, in the rainy season, what happens if you see inside the water tanks? Okay, you can see the green layer formed all around the water, on the surface of the water, the green layer, isn't it? Similarly, in the lake, our own Peddacheru, in that also, on the top you can see a green colored layer due to pollution. Okay, because different waste are sent into that, there is a layer formed. What is that layer formed of? It is a type of a plant. Okay, that type of a plants are called as lichens. They are called as algae, not lichens but algae. Okay, algae are those which we see like nachu on the water or in the water bodies, in the lakes, ponds and all, we see the surface. They are the algae. Okay, that is a type of plant. A variety of plants are available as algae. Okay, so that algae, okay, that lives with That lives with whom? It lives with a friend, that is fungi. Where we have studied about fungi? In the previous class video only I have told about fungus, isn't it? About the yeast, bread mold and mushrooms I told in detail, isn't it? So that fungus is that fungus. Okay, in that only different varieties of fungus, all are not same I told, isn't it? In that some fungi are there which live with the algae. Okay, these two live together. Now here, what is being provided to whom? Okay, so shall I rub it off? So please note this down, then I just write about the lichens. Note down about this one, top what I have written, about the examples, that is groundnuts, and that one bacteria, that you can write in the same way for your understanding. If you want, you can draw the diagram also, children. Completed? Shall I go to the next part? Okay. So here we have seen about the symbiotic relationship between the pea plants or the groundnut plants and the bacteria. Another example as I told is that of lichens. Okay, lichens or lichens. This is also another example. Here what happens? Here the algae are there. Okay, and fungi. Okay, see here in the textbook the picture has been given. Okay, can you see this? Pale yellow colored ones or the brown colored ones, or on the trees you can find certain white colored patches, grayish white, not exactly white, gray colored patches on the trees. Okay, in the rainy season or in those places where there is no pollution. Okay, if at all there is no pollution, on those trees only these lichens can grow. So here like this you can find, if you go outside Vijayanagaram or into the forest or the rural area, if you go, on the tree you can find many such patches. Okay, these patches are the lichens or the lichens, wherein you can find that the algae and fungi live together. Okay, how they live together? What does the algae give to the fungi? It gives food. Okay, whereas the fungi gives water and minerals. Okay, it absorbs the water and minerals from the tree. On the tree where they are growing, they can take the water and minerals, but it does not harm the tree at all. Even on the rocks they can grow. It is not necessary that only on the tree, from the surrounding they are able to take that. Okay, like this, the fungi is giving water and minerals to the algae, and algae is giving the food to fungi. So this is one more example of lichens. Okay. So this is the reason when we have seen that the friendship is there between the plants. One very good use of this friendship the farmers make use of. How they make use of that friendship? What they do is, after they have grown the rice, this is the rainy season. Now generally what they grow is rice. Especially in Andhra Pradesh, they would be growing rice during this Kharif season, that is during the rainy season. After this is over, they start growing the pulses. What I have told earlier, the grams, isn't it? Different types of dals or the grams or the peas, green peas. Okay, those things are grown in the same soil. When they are growing the leguminous plants, such plants are called as leguminous plants, which we shall be studying in detail in higher classes. So when we are growing those plants in the same soil, what would happen? After the growth of those plants, say from say June to November, we have grown rice. After that harvestation is over, we have cut that. After that, we have grown the gram. Say we have grown the black gram. Okay, that is minapuppu. Okay, then we keep, or we have grown groundnut. We leave it for 3-4 months over the harvestation. So we take out that, we take out all the groundnuts and all that. Then those plants are there. Those plants can be plowed. They can be plowed in the soil. Or even if they are removed, their roots remain in the soil and the bacteria remains in the soil and it has converted the soil into nitrogen rich soil. It will contain more amount of nitrogen. So that soil is very good for growing any other type of crop. So like this, naturally our farmers are using the growth of different types of plants in different seasons to increase the quality of the soil. Understood, children? So that is about symbiotic relationship and its uses. That finishes of our chapter. So please note this down. So have you all completed? We shall go to the next part. We shall go to we have completed the chapter. This finishes the chapter. The first chapter we have successfully completed. Next we shall go to the part wherein we are going to discuss. Okay. So we shall just see the box, track your progress. State true or false. Okay. For everything I will give 2 minutes, 5 seconds time. Just think over. If you are able to, please note down in your textbook. So if at all you have not kept the textbook ready with you, please keep it now at least, as you have to do the exercise. Okay, keep the textbook ready because all the bit part we are going to do in the textbook only. Okay. See the page number 10. Track your progress. After that, the flow chart that I gave already earlier only. See, track your progress. In that you can see in parasitic nutrition both the organisms benefit each other. So I just rub it off. I write the answers, only answers briefly here in the on the board. You first try it out. If you are not able to, then you can note down these in the book. Okay. So we shall see the first one, that is track true or false. State true or false. Okay, in that page number 10. Okay, you can see the first one. In parasitic nutrition, both the organisms benefit from each other. Is it so? Did they benefit from each other? What we had seen about that Cuscuta. Do they benefit? No. Isn't it? They don't benefit. I forgot to tell the wait for you. So just write down no or false. Anything can do. Okay. Second one. Just read the second one. I shall also read. Which one is an example of symbiotic association? Tell me what it is. Just now we have done. Is an example of symbiotic association. True or false? Yes? Okay, true. Okay, then the third one, see, saprophytes and eat dead organisms. Saprophytic nutrition, yesterday I told about the bread molds or the mushrooms, where they grow. Think and tell. Where do they grow? Think, children. Yes, they grow on the rotten wood. So, that is correct. They eat the dead organisms. That's why it is true. Next one, D. Insectivorous plants are eaten by insects. Is it correct? Insects eat the plants or plants eat the insects? Just think. Yes. What it is? No. They don't eat the insects. So the answer is false. The answer is false. Then E, last one, see. Rhizobium is a nitrogen fixing microbe. True or false? What it is? Think. Rhizobium is a nitrogen fixing microbe. Microbe means microorganism, or here example is bacteria. True. So we have completed this one. Okay. Now next one. On page number 11, assessment zone. Assessment zone. Choose the correct answer. Okay. Which of the following? Which of the following cannot prepare its own food? Mushrooms, can they prepare? Yesterday we saw no. Then pitcher plant, it is a parasite, no. Cuscuta, what it is? It is also a parasitic plant. So, what is the option? D. All of these. Next one. So, shall I rub it out, children? Okay. Here I write the choices, multiple choices or MCQs. I just write briefly. MCQs means multiple choice questions. I will not write the whole heading there. Okay. So here the first one is what? D. The first one is D. First number is D. Second one, which process in plants are supported by the stomata present in the lower surface of the leaves? Which process in the plants are supported by the stomata present on the lower surface of the leaves? Which process? Photosynthesis, transpiration, reproduction, both A and B. What is transpiration? I told loss of water from the leaves. If the water is lost outside, that is transpiration. Photosynthesis, they help or not? I have shown the chart also that day. So they help both A and that is B option, both A and B. Option is D. I just write the options. Okay, next one. Which is the simplest form of food formed during photosynthesis? Tell me. I've been given the equation right from the beginning of the chapter. What is it? It produces glucose. Isn't it? 3 is glucose, that is B option. The last one, fifth one, it is, see, their red chilies are put there in some of the questions. That means they are hot. What is hot? Red chili. You would have seen the red chilies on some of the questions. Just show like this. Red chilies are there or not? Okay. So this shows, this means what? That symbol shows hots. Okay. What are these hots? In CBSE books, we will get such questions. Some questions will be like that. That means higher order, okay, higher order thinking, higher order, that means whatever we have taught, if you are able to answer the hots, you are very good, okay, on your own. Don't Google it. Without Googling, after your understanding, you should be able to answer. If you are answering that, very, very good. So, hot means higher order thinking. Okay, higher order thinking questions. Okay, so these are available. Here one such question is given. Meher wiped the leaves of a plant with an oily cloth to remove all the dust and to give it a shiny look. After a few days, the plant died. The plant died because, why? What is removed? What I told, the surface of the leaves are shiny. Why are they shiny? What would be there? For some protection it is there or not? Water could not be absorbed as oil is a water repellent. Okay. What he did? He has closed the stomata. He has used a oily cloth and wiped on the leaf. That closes the stomata. Okay. When sunlight cannot pass through the oil, then oil would have blocked the stomata and prevented gas exchange. The last one, oil would have dissolved the chlorophyll. The next option is option is D. Fourth one I did not write. So which of the, see, I forgot to tell about the fourth one. Which of the following plants has rhizobium in its root nodules? Peas, bean, grams and all. Just now I have told. I have given all these examples. Do you remember or not? So they are present in all these plants. So the option here is D. Then fifth one. What is the option just now I told? Option is C. Okay. Next one, the blanks. Next one is blanks. What are those blanks for? Autotrophic. Autotrophic plants are also called green plants. Autotrophic plants are also called as. Okay, we shall see just a few blanks. So I would want you all to try it out on your own. I don't want to tell all the answers. Now as I have completed the chapter, please complete the bit part as much as possible. So it would be a very good discussion in the next chapter, next video. Okay, till then try on your own. If you are able to answer, very, very good children. Thank you.